Okay, so what we have here is my statistics project for math for the elementary school. My statistical question was, what percentage of elementary students are considered college and career ready based on the grades of 4 and 5? The overall data showed the grades of 3 through 5, so we just leveled out that third grade data. The collection of data we have here, the variables were the 4th and 5th graders of North Carolina, and that was versus the percent of students that are college and career ready based on those grade levels. We were looking for percentages of 4th and 5th graders in North Carolina that are college and career ready. We see here on the side the y-axis is the grade level and the x-axis is the percent of those numbers that are ready for college and career. And we see that in a scattered chart here versus a bar graph over this way. I feel like on this specific chart over here, we see the cases in 4th and 5th grade looking very similar, whereas when we're looking at the bar graph, I feel like you can see a little bit more of a difference in that data. For the analysis, when I was looking at the plotted data shown here on the left, we see similarities between grades 4 and 5, 4 being here and 5th grade being at the top. So we were looking at these similarities between them when it comes to being college and career ready, but when taking a closer look and calculating the median and the mean of the data, we're able to see those differences a little closer. And right here I have written down, the difference in the median and mean. 4th grade being a median of 39.5, and that's about around 6 points lower than the 5th grade median being 45. As well as for the mean, the 5th grade average was around 6 points higher than the 4th grade. Obviously, being that, the 5th graders are a little bit older and are in that that stage where they're talking about specific things that 4th graders don't get to learn based on their standards. We also see that they're outliers, over here within the 4th grade data set, as they're not any for the 5th grade. Between the two, we see that there's about a 6 points difference, as I mentioned before. As I said before, also, there's a bigger difference, to the eye on the right side of this bar graph right here. I chose these two specific graphs because they show the data differently, and because of that, just looking at one graph may have us interpreting the data incorrectly, especially if you didn't know how to get the calculations, right on point for that. So just to the eye, it definitely looks like 4th and 5th grade isn't that far apart, but when you're looking at this data in a bar graph, we see, kind of more of a dramatic difference. So for the interpretation of these results, when looking at all of the data for both grades 4 and 5, considering whether they are college and career ready, we see that there's around, a 6 point difference in the averages of the two grades. 5th grade having an average of around 46.5 and 4th grade being 40% ready. As I said before, this measurement of data makes sense considering factors of age and learning ability and the information that is needed in those standards met for 4th and 5th grade. So some broader issues we said when looking at this data, when looking at the greatest charted percent of 4th graders being college and career ready, they were tested at about 90.6% considered ready by a charter school, which was Quest Academy, according to the data in North Carolina. Their performance grade was an A with a 64% academic growth rate. These incoming students for their program is a 95% readiness rate, and the economic disadvantage of the school is 5%. This does make sense in the economic standpoint, as this is a charter school, and and students may be, a little more up to scale when it comes to students. If you also look here, the school is 82% white students. It shows that the school is an advantage in high average students because the charter school is made up of only 139 students. It makes sense that students, when there's a smaller group, more attention per student, so that helps probably their success rate. Then looking at the same data points for 5th grade, we looked at Weddington Elementary based on their data, and they were 91.5% considered ready for a career in college in that elementary school. Their performance grade was a 93, which was an A, and over almost half of their students or of their teachers in the school have more than 10 years of teaching experience. This household income for the schools is the 78th percentile, being closest to the highest household income rate, which is about $45,000 in my research. I think this is just, a public school, the Weddington Elementary, as the Quest Academy is more of a charter private school. But overall, the success rate between both of them are very high in grades 4 and 5. So these students are projected to do well because they come from high success areas with very little economic issues, as well as their inter-school struggles. These students are at the highest percentile when it comes to being college and career ready. So as I said before, the question was, what percentage of elementary students are considered being college and career ready based on 4th and 5th grade? And overall, we saw down here that they have a high rate, especially in the 4th grade. There's a 90% chance that these 4th graders are ready, and in 5th grade going up, 1.5%, being 91.5% of people are ready. So both of these schools, it shows us a different look between public and private, and just the economic experience for these students. But both were projected to do well when it comes to college and career.